a Battle Born at $950, an EG4 48 volts at $1,599, a Signature Solar 48 volts at $1,499. Same chemistry, Life P04, same 100 amp hour class. Build a 30 kilowatt hour bank from each, and the totals come out at $22,000, $9,600, and $9,000, a $13,000 gap. Same chemistry, same warranty length on paper, same target market. The spec sheet hid the real cost. It was buried in the variables every other battery comparison skips. Today, Battle Born versus EG4 versus Signature Solar. Real cost per cycle, real BMS compatibility, real warranty fine print. The verdict for each use case. If you size batteries on price per kilowatt hour alone, you're optimizing the least important number in the system. From the hub video, one rule: total cost over the lifetime, not sticker price. For batteries, that frame extends, and the lifetime math splits in two directions. Batteries serve two roles, and the economics flip between them. Small systems, RVs, boats, marine, cabins under 10 kilowatt hours, are about reliability and form factor. Whole home off-grid, 20 to 40 kilowatt-hour banks, is about scalability and inverter pairing. The brand that wins for small systems loses for whole home. The brand that wins for whole home is overkill in an RV. Pick the wrong combination and your $9,000 bank becomes a $20,000 replacement in year 4. 6 dimensions, 3 brands. Total battery economics is 6 things: price per kilowatt-hour of capacity, cycle life at 80% depth of discharge, BMS quality and communication protocols, warranty terms, scalability and form factor, and support. Skip any of them and your comparison is fiction. Most off-grid mistakes happen when people buy components individually instead of designing systems, and battery brands are the easiest place to make that mistake. The killer dimension is cost per cycle, not cost per kilowatt hour. A $740 per kilowatt-hour battery that lasts 4,000 cycles costs $5.50 per cycle. A $312 per kilowatt-hour battery that lasts 8,000 cycles costs $1.20 per cycle. That's a 4.6 times ratio. All 3 brands run the same chemistry. The differences live in everything around the cell: the BMS, the firmware, the warranty fine print, the form factor that determines whether you can scale your bank later. 3 brands, 6 dimensions. Let's run the numbers. Here's where most off-grid buyers start their search, and where most of them make the wrong call. The premium American option, and the most misunderstood in the comparison. Price: about $950 per 100 ampere-hour unit, roughly $740 per kilowatt-hour. To build 30 kilowatt-hours of storage with Battle Born, you're stacking 23 units. Stop for a second and actually picture that. 23 separate batteries. EG4 does the same capacity in 6 rack units. Same chemistry, completely different system architecture. Cost: about $22,000. Cost per cycle at 4,000 cycles, $5.50. Strengths: US-based support is real and responsive. Battle Born has the longest brand reputation in off-grid, and they answer the phone. That matters more than spec sheets suggest. Weakness: the 12-volt form factor was designed for RVs, not whole home off-grid. You'd never build a 48-volt whole home system this way. Verdict: Battle Born is the right answer for RVs, marine, boats, and small cabins under 10 kilowatt hours. For whole home off-grid, you're paying twice the price for a form factor that doesn't fit the use case. EG4. This is where most off-grid buyers actually land, and where the math gets interesting. Price: about $1,599 per 5.12 kilowatt-hour unit, roughly $312 per kilowatt-hour. To build 30 kilowatt-hours, 6 units in a server rack. Total: about $9,600. Cost per cycle at 8,000 cycles, $1.20. That's $12,400 less than Battle Born for the same capacity. Strengths: server rack form factor is purpose-built for whole home off-grid. Closed-loop BMS means your inverter knows the battery's exact state of charge, not just voltage. Better protection, smarter charging. Scalable to 60-plus kilowatt-hours without exotic wiring. Weakness: BMS quality varies between sub-models within the EG4 lineup. Verdict: EG4 is the default for 48-volt whole home off-grid. Best price-to-performance ratio in the category by a meaningful margin. Signature Solar's SOK is functionally similar to EG4 and meaningfully cheaper. Price: about $1,499 per 5.12 kilowatt-hour unit, roughly $293 per kilowatt-hour, to build 30 kilowatt-hours, 6 units. Total, about $9,000. Cost per cycle at 7,000 cycles, $1.29. That's $600 less than EG4 for the same capacity. Real money on a large build, marginal on a smaller one. Strengths: lowest dollars per kilowatt-hour in the category. Server rack form factor matches EG4's footprint. Frequently bundled with Signature Solar's inverter offerings. If you're building a single vendor stack, the integration is clean. Weakness: shorter warranty on some submodels. Less established support history compared to Battleborn's decade-plus reputation. The brand is newer, so resale value is unproven. Verdict: the budget play that's quietly becoming the default. Saves about 6% over EG4 at the bank level. Meaningful for 60-plus kilowatt-hour builds where 6% is real money. Not significant for smaller systems where the absolute savings are under $1,000. Support matters more at small scale, too. When your boat is 200 miles offshore and the BMS throws an error, you need a human you can actually reach. Battleborn answers the phone. The newer brands haven't built that infrastructure yet. The inverter question. But all of this assumes the batteries actually integrate correctly with the rest of the system. The inverter's closed-loop compatibility list dictates which batteries actually work as a system, not just as standalone units. One bad pairing becomes inaccurate charging. Inaccurate charging becomes accelerated degradation. Accelerated degradation becomes a 5-figure replacement. Victron pairs cleanly with Battleborn and EG4 via CAN bus configuration. EG4 inverters pair best with EG4 batteries. Schneider Connext works with all three, with firmware updates current. The system thinker move: pick the inverter first, then pick the battery that pairs cleanly. This is the question to settle before anything else. Should I buy this? Beats, which should I buy? Every time. Most buyers get this decision wrong once. Spreadsheet below. Plug in your daily kilowatt hours and your inverter brand. Get your battery sizing and your 10-year cost per cycle. Comment which inverter you're running or planning, and I'll tell you which battery pairs cleanest. Next video. The component that decides whether any of this actually works: inverter selection.